Hey guys, this is Mikhail Takashi Nazuma. Here we go. Welcome to the Kaminari Flash. I want to talk to y'all about something that's been on my mind for a little while. What I don't get this is something I don't get. I've been thinking about this for a long time now. I want you all to follow me with this. You see, let's take it back before Battle of Gods era, right? You know, before the Battle of Gods movie came out, and we already had Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. I think Kai was just doing this thing, Back then, I used to be on Versus forums, like different forums and stuff like that on the internet. That was back when I really had nothing better to do. And I used to be on Versus forums and talk about which character beats this character, which character beats that one, you know what I mean? This, that, and the third. And a lot of the main ones I usually joined were Dragon Ball versus comic character battles. And I had to rep for your boy, the Dragon Ball team. Let's go. Anyway, the problem is, Dragon Ball was always treated as a mid-tier verse. No matter how much, and when I say mid-tier verse, I mean both Dragon Ball Z and GT. It was never considered above a multi-solar system level. Like, it was always put in between the HST, which is Holy Shonen Trilogy, the Holy Shonen Trinity. Damn, I can't talk right now. And the comic verses and many other verses that can pass the threshold of galaxy level. It was hard to put GT on galaxy level. We had a hard time. A lot of the times was because the Super Saiyan 4 was 4,000 times stronger than times base, and you know what I mean. We already established that it's probably much stronger than that. But the point is that back then we didn't have proof, or we didn't have feats. All we had was power scaling, and you can only go but so far with power scaling, with speculation on how strong they can really be. Even if you use numbers and say, oh, this guy is more than 400,000 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, that's the Busage, so he must be like, galaxy level or something. You know what I mean? Even if you use numbers like that, again, that's speculation. There was no proof. Now, I don't want to sound confrontational. I don't want to come off as a dick, but GT fans need to get a clue. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I grew up with GT. I watched, grew up with Dragon Ball Z. Went into GT, watched all of GT, and that was what it was before Battle of Gods came out. I mean, I just loved this series through the years, and I kept enjoying the series. I wasn't even part of the group of, hating, bashing GT. I didn't even know that was even a thing until later on, until I got on the internet, really. The thing I want to talk about is that I don't understand, as a person who's been a supporter of DB on Versus forums and had a hard time getting galaxy level feats on Dragon Ball. I mean, that was a hard thing before. We can only speculate that, and we're trying to push them up to there, but they counted as wank before. I mean, that was why we were so hyped about the Beerus line in Battle of Gods, the movie. The subline was subtitled, he would destroy a galaxy in an instant, but it turns out it was just solar system. But the point is, we were so hyped about that, we were looking for galaxy level feats, because as a verse, it was pretty much, mid tier. I mean, they had Sailor Moon characters there where it would beat us. I mean, freaking comic characters if they had hacks, they could beat the verse. I mean, there was people saying this person solos, that person solos. I've been hearing that for years, and it really boggled my mind how much Dragon Ball was at a disadvantage, because before I started that back in 2011, before I was in Versus forums and anything else, I thought that was like the strongest thing out there. You know what I mean? I would just imagine if Goku was in this world or that world, I thought he'd be top tier, you know? And it kind of blew my mind there a little bit. But the point is, I'm getting off on a tangent. The point is that with so much, losses so many losses that Dragon Ball has taken over the years, even with GT's help. I mean, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta did not help at all. At best, some people used to say he was galaxy level at best, and even then, that was denied by the comic stands, like the comic fanboys. So until Super came out, starting with episode 2, I mean, Beerus's feat on episode 2, where he went from his temple to that dinosaur planet in less than a minute and 20 seconds. It was calc within like a trillion times the speed of light to like over a quintillion times the speed of light, depending on how far the planet is. But it was out of his nebula. So that's the crazy part about it. Like, wow, this dude, that was a first really awesome speed feat, especially after all the suffered losses we had against like death battle with the Goku versus Superman 1 and 2. And then now, I'm gonna mention some of the other ones, like any Dragon Ball character versus Silver Surfer, or fucking Galactus. I don't know if anybody can still beat the Galactus. Probably Thanos, or maybe Thor. Anybody from Marvel Comics, DC Comics don't even bring up Superman, because that has been banned off of many sites because it caused so many flame wars. That's how much that is going through. And I've been an avid Dragon Ball supporter for all these years, and I've been for them to win. But yeah, Dragon Ball will get this reputation, at least Dragon Ball fans, as these rabid fanboys, and to the point that anybody who would say that they win or they were fans of it, they would call them tards, Dragon Ball DBZ tards or something like that, and then even no matter what the matchup is, they will always say the other person wins. Like an example, back in MVC, the lounge forums, there was one called Broly versus Sephiroth, and you already know Sephiroth, how strong he is, but they said that Broly loses by Sephiroth spitting on him and controlling his mind, because he was susceptible to mind control. Now that was obviously, you and me, you thinking about that, that's how ludicrous that is. We know how ludicrous that is, but the fact that that they was all jumping together in agreement that was the case, it was like, you gotta be kidding me. That got on my nerves big time. I was like, oh my god, are you serious? And nobody even tried, they just disappeared. Whatever. Anyway, whatever. There was a lot of stuff to grill up and eat back then. But ever since episode 12, hell yeah, before actually the manga chapter in which Goku versus Beerus's fight, but especially after episode 12, when Universal Dragon Ball was really an actual thing. And I mean, it's crazy, because there were sites even putting up banners where the hardest down players used to be like, oh, the site crumbles because of this episode. It's crazy, you know what I mean? And we see how much of an increase he's been getting since then. But all I hear these days is that from GT fans is that Super Saiyan 4 is still the strongest form. I'm like, sir, madam, whatever you are, they never helped before. Like, you have no proof of this. A lot of people seem to have this preconceived notion that also that GT happens after Super. No, it does not. No, it does not. Two separate wavelengths. One is Dragon Ball, Kai, and Super. One is Dragon Ball, Z, then GT. They don't click. They don't click at all. there's too many contradictions between to mix the two. So listen to me, GT fans, calm down. There is nothing to say. I have plenty of videos coming out soon to talk about how much of an increase Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is compared to Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Ultimate Gohan, as well as the Boos and Vegeta. You get what I'm saying? Either way, God Goku is massively, massively stronger. And we want to downplay it, but the thing about it is, besides a filler scene, there's nothing to put Super Vegeta on a universal level. The massive increase between Super Saiyan 3 Goku from Battle of Gods to Battle of God Super Saiyan God is massive. That increase is enormous. It's crazy. I would have nostalgia because I love the Super Saiyan 4 form. I hated the Super 17 arc, but I really love the Super Saiyan 4 form. I like Omega, I like Baby. But to be honest with you, there is nothing in that show that suggests they reached a higher plane of like galaxy to universal. And if he died from a universal attack, that means he's clearly not on the level of universal. That's Omega. The Super Saiyan God form is massive. It's a massive increase from solar system level, multi-solar system level, all the way up to universal is a massive increase. We all just need to enjoy Dragon Ball in the end. If I sound a little pretentious on here and make it sound like, stupid, I'm sorry about that, but everything I've been doing over the years, it seems like it's getting undermined by the GT fanboys and it's starting to get on my nerves. So if I sound a little pretentious and fucked up here, my bad. Please, if you agree with me and you understand where I'm coming from, like and subscribe because I will put out more videos. If you disagree, dislike and still subscribe to hear my reasoning later on down the line. Catch you all down the road.